Word.
Button.
Word.
Brews and Banner Podcast. Banner Podcast. Brews and Banner Podcast. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Brews and Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the Legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I was reading this weekend.
Mama. Nah, it doesn't taste like dirt. My name is Lou Belgium, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm wondering.
Does Delaware have an actual culture? This is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world. Politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair.
Ooh, we love you, Brews and Banter Podcast.
Cheese up. You know how we do. And the kind of brother who've been doing it my way, getting my way begins in my career.
That's one of my least favorite Usher songs, but that's okay.
Damn.
Really?
That's one of my favorite Usher songs.
Really?
I think for the video, I think the video made it one of my favorite.
That's the old school joint, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a back in the day looking joint.
Yeah.
Right, that we started off with, since it is Super Bowl Sunday, and he will be the reason a lot of people would turn on Super Bowl.
Right.
Because they went hard for this year's production in terms of promotion of him being a halftime show.
Right. Yeah, they did.
Like they did above and beyond. I know he rolled it out pretty well in terms of himself, because he said, "Hey, I got a tour coming."
I think that had a lot to do with it too. Like he got the Vegas residency, he got the tour coming.
Yeah, that
Right,
rapper
He was like, yo, let's just. Yeah, he probably wrote a children's book or something.
Nah, you know he was lit for all the flack he got for the concerts, and he fucking with people, girls, and all that stuff. So he lit. He did the right thing. He on this shit right now. I like that.
And people have been giving great reviews about the residency. Like I haven't heard not one bad thing about.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
It was great.
I don't know anybody who was disappointed with the show.
Yeah, so he said, I'm going to take that on, and then now I'm going to take my show on the road with his new tour.
And his album dropped tonight.
I think it dropped already. It dropped.
I thought it came out afterwards.
It's on Apple Music anyway. I'm going to say it's on Apple Music already. But the Apple
Which I
Music
think
did a whole thing, too. They did a video like, Where's Usher?
Where's Usher?
Like,
oh, yeah, that's right.
It was with Lil Jon, Ludacris, and Taraji P. Henson. And they had lost them, so they had like a hangover.
Like hangover, yeah.
Okay. I got two questions for y'all. Since Yoda, you said you love that song that Rob opened with. You think he gonna sing that tonight?
Probably not.
And what y'all think he gonna open up with?
Peace up, A-Town Down.
Yeah, that's,
You think it's
he's definitely. I don't know if he opening up with that, but he's definitely doing that song.
Oh yeah,
somebody
I don't
said
know when
the one was would be where he spells his name. I can't remember what the song is.
That's
when it's 7 o'clock in the drop top.
Yeah. What song is that though? What is it?
You got it back? Is it got you got it?
Nah,
you got it? It's not you got it.
No. That's it came out on my way. What's the name of that goddamn song?
Damn, we still old. I know in order to get that's why I'm not trying to do that. Look at Lou. Lou's doing it fast. Lou.
That's not they call me you. That ain't you. That ain't you got it bad?
Yeah,
No,
maybe it
not
is.
at all. You Got It Bad was 8701. I know my album.
Maybe
I just don't know
it
what
is.
the name of that goddamn song was. That song is my way. That song was on my way.
Okay.
Oh, that song was on my way. But you
No,
don't
I
know
think he's
what.
gonna do DJ Falling in Love for some reason. Only reason because of the
Nice and slow.
Nice and slow. Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah.
Damn,
Thank
and
you
what
very
a
much.
stupid easy title.
He was 18. He was 18. Of course, it was no respect. But yeah, just saying that, like Usher was out before I went to high school, and I've been out of high school for over 25 years.
Right.
So
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's just a great career. I think that's why another reason why it's so famous. Like it's so many people that are going to get something out of the show, whereas a lot of times it's like one section of the music community that gets something. Like Usher be for the people.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he was big time at one point. Then he had a little lull, and now because after the residency, he back on top. He's like, hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
He said, "Yeah,
Residence-
man."
the res- I think before he started the residency, we wasn't gonna have no more albums from Usher. And
Oh,
that
yeah.
residency just sparked everything. He's like,
Yeah,
let me get back in the studio.
Yeah, like I don't. I might be right, but nah, he had other out. He had, but I guess it was like.
But they wasn't
years
like
prior.
that was like moving mountains. He was moving. Remember that moving
Right.
mountains? That
Yeah.
wasn't
Yes.
that wasn't the best
What's
album
the
that you
joint?
heard
Didn't he?
from Usher.
What was the joint that he had with
He had one with Zaytoven. I didn't really do anything.
Oh
either.
yeah, that album.
And then but another good thing with Usher is he started messing with the younger R&B artists. Like he did the song with Summer Walker.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
do a lot of collabs with the younger ladies, like the City
Yeah,
Girls.
he had
is on
City
a
Girls,
song or
yeah.
two. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that keeps them relevant. Like the young people be like, who the hell is this old ass man that can sing real good? And he's still popping and locking.
Oh,
How
that's-
much stretching Usher got to do to be popping and locking like that?
Rob-
I can barely get out of bed, man. God damn, that's a lot. That's good
that
for him.
motherfucker probably eat kale salad all day and fucking
Yeah, he definitely got
protein shake.
top mid 40 shape for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and he works out a lot because he had to
Yeah.
do the shows and stuff. So you know you had to.
Yeah, his voice and his dancing is his business. So he should be
Right.
a better dancer than us for
I
sure.
think he's just roll around on skates, fucking singing and.
I feel like he still do it. Did he do it at the restaurant?
Yeah. They skated. It was like a whole skating rink at the.
He got to skate.
They call him the king of roller skating now. They call him the king of roller skating.
Man, that nigga be skating. He almost fell at the one we went. So,
that nigga with the afro from Roll Bouncer is pissed off to hear that shit.
Sweetwater.
Yeah, Sweetwater's little corner, y'all. I should have took that shit too. Sweetwater don't got nothing. He lost his girl.
Stupid.
Now he lost the rank. That's
Right.
crazy.
All right. Well, I didn't even say what up. Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast.
We were right on the
top.
phone.
This is rocket.
Started this.
And the brew will have the fuel. And I'm your Top G, and with me, as always, Legendary Brew Crew. What's going on, fellas? We got
man.
Usher.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
This
Yeah,
is
man.
episode 237 of Bruising Banter Podcast. And if this is your first time joining us, welcome to the party.
Welcome. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Welcome
for our
to the party.
For our bruisers and bruisettes, glad you are back with us.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Come along and ride on the fantastic voyage.
Damn, the end of that was bad.
No. I like it. That's exactly how Coolio made it.
That
sound,
was
man.
fucking terrible. Yeah,
Voyage. Hey, how's
job,
that?
Rob.
Oh,
Good job. I'm with you on that, Rob. You got hands.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Gotcha. But this is episode 237, and we do have a great guest with us this afternoon, this morning, this evening, whenever you are listening or watching, because I have caught up on most of the postings on
Ooh,
YouTube.
them shits was dropping like fucking them notifications coming in like crazy. I was like, Rob's going nuts on them right now.
So they are online as well. So most of them, unless they had technical difficulties in some of the recording, that's the only ones that have not been posted. But majority of them are up now on YouTube. But like I said, we do have a great guest with us.
Hey, Rob.
Afternoon, this morning, this evening. We have the founder of Facts, which is a North Carolina-based nonprofit that focuses on your mental wellness as well as your physical fitness and wellness as well. So we want to bring Fontashia to the podcast. Let me give her a round of applause.
Clap, clap.
You know what?
Welcome to the podcast.
I got invited to the party. I'm excited.
Yeah, you're invited to the party.
Oh,
It's not really
welcome.
exclusive. You just gotta ask sometimes.
You know what? No, I don't think that's all you have to do. I think it's
Yo, here we go. Why? We're not about to get into this right now.
You
Nope.
be talking to the
Not happening.
wrong members. of
Not
the
happening.
podcast.
Clearly,
All you
clearly
gotta
that's what I've been
do is
doing.
ask. I think 2
Not
out of 3 of
happening.
us would have just said, pick a date. As
Not-
long as you show up at the correct time, we'd be good.
Oh,
I thought I lost you for a second there, Lou.
What?
nice shade.
What?
No,
I didn't say anything.
all
What did I say?
considering, all considering.
It's all right. It's
This
cool.
stuff
You
could have
hear it.
been since, other ways too. So we're not.
Hey,
It's right on. It's right on time.
It's right
You're
on time. We're here.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You're supposed to be here today. Yep.
Right.
And
We love you, David.
All right. Before we get into all that, we always like to know what everybody is drinking on. So what are we drinking today? Oh, we always start with our guest. So Fontashia, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking Cabernet. And actually, I have the bottle if you want to see it. I don't know if that makes any difference, but it's
that's
called
a party
Freak Show.
bottle.
Yeah.
Freak Show.
Is the bottle what made you
Freak
pick
Show.
that?
Yep.
Yeah.
But,
But a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I like Cabernet, and I was trying something new, and so yes, that is why it's the strongest man in the world, apparently. And they went off of that.
Yo, tell me this: how come the strongest man in the world on there is the littlest nigga in the world? Because he looks tiny.
He does look tiny.
To be the
Let me
strongest.
see again.
But I'm tiny, and I'm pretty strong too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I got you.
What's the brand? Is it the brand Freak Show? Is the brand called Freak Show? Is that the name of the brand, Freak Show?
This is the name of this particular wine, but the it is Freak Show is the brand, and Michael and David they have a winery, and they create different themes, I guess.
Michael and David, or is that the name of the people, or you know them? Like
I don't know them personally, no. But that's what it says on the back there.
That seemed real like my
neighbor. They told me to try this, so I had to try it.
They're my neighbors now because they're in my cabinet. So
okay, well that's right. That's true.
Is Cabernet your wine of choice? Is that your favorite style of wine?
Cabernet? Yeah, Cabernet is my go-to. Cabernet.
Does it matter? Does it matter what brand?
Not necessarily. As long as the alcohol content is higher than 15%, I'm okay with it.
All right.
Okay.
And that's obviously Freak Show is. If you're gonna name something Freak Show, you gotta have it.
Yeah.
So what is the ABV?
This one is just under. It's 14.5%. But they say you can test how good the wine is when you can stick your finger in the hole at the bottom.
I never heard that, but
you never heard of that?
But you do stick your finger in the hole to test it. If you, that's the best way to test it. If you gotta test it.
Yeah. So,
what? So
all wine bottles.
What?
Yeah. All wine bottles have it's either flat surface or it has a hole.
Dip.
It goes deeper and deeper.
Yeah. So the deeper, so the deeper you go.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That part.
Yes.
Just like how you dip your finger correctly, right?
So if it's a flat surface, you
don't get it. Don't get that.
It's probably
why would you put finger in there?
So people know this. Why would you make any wine in a flat surface?
Right. I would just spend the money on the bottle and make my shit cheap.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right.
But it's something.
I'm gonna make a bottle that go all the way up to the dip go all the way up to the top.
If you get a two knuckler, you winning. That's who knew? Is that with all wines or just Cabernet?
No, that's with all wines. And I only learned that when I visited Italy. I learned something new, and I was like, oh, okay.
Rob, did you learn that in Italy?
Right.
No, because I'm not a super wine drinker. I didn't ask those questions.
Rob, you supposed to be our Italy expert. Now we got another.
I just said, give me the wine.
You ain't stick your finger in the hole.
I don't know how many fingers. It don't matter how many fingers I got.
1, 2, 3.
I can't wait to fingers some wine. I'm fingers some wine.
Me too. I'm about to just go to Total Wines and just
start fingering.
And there go your clips right there.
With that, I stand behind that 100%.
Yeah, me too. I like that. Yeah. You learn something every day.
Thank you, Fontashia.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Am I back on the team now? Because you threw me under the bus.
You was never off the team, and I didn't throw you under the bus. If you wouldn't have said nothing, no one wouldn't even know.
But you know what? I'm very transparent, so I don't mind people knowing that I was a little late.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
No love lost.
Right, you ain't late to the episode because the episode started when you started.
Yeah,
boom.
Yeah, when you got here, we started forward.
Facts, we only waited because it was you. But this shit would have started, and I would have texted you and said, "Hey, you got to reach out."
Forget about it.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah,
all All right. Luke, what you drinking on?
Oh man, I have something from Southern Grist Brewing. I think they're out of Georgia, I believe. No, I'm sorry, Nashville, Tennessee.
I was going to say, Lucas said everybody's out of Georgia today.
I do. Ludacris, Usher, Lil Jon. You know what I mean? Southern Grist Brewing out of Nashville, Tennessee. This is the apple crumble tart pastry ale. That's what the can looks like. If you guys can check that out there. Southern Grist at the top, the apple bottom. It says here that it keep cold, drink fresh, the apple of your eye. Sour ale brewed with lactose, apple puree, granola, cinnamon, turbinado, sugar, caramel, and vanilla beans. Only thing I didn't know was turbinado sugar. Y'all remember like raw sugar at the coffee shops? Like that, them packets of raw sugar? Like big giant brown, granulated brown sugar. That's what they said. This is the most representative version of sugar is that. So,
okay.
But yeah, it got a lot of apples in it. You can definitely taste the apples. This is what it looks like in somebody's Bruising Banner cup. So it's real thick and hazy. You can't really see through it. But it smells real apple cidery because of that puree. It's almost like apple pie. It's good to me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Real mild and mellow. The ABV is 6.0%. But yeah, man, this is delicious, man. I'm gonna pass me another because of the 6%. I'll drink 2 or 3 of these for sure.
Here I go thinking 6% is kind of high, but all right.
Yeah, once I go like 6.5 and higher, then I'm like, I'll take 1 or 2. But six, I think I can get 3 in and still, you know.
Yeah, you might be right. Maybe it depends. I don't know.
It all depends on how long I'm there.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's say that because we want to drink responsibly out there, or call an Uber or a Lyft.
Right.
Or have a designated driver. You got it.
Or have a designated driver
until that designated driver gets drunk.
Starts
that's
drinking.
Not a designated driver. Then. That's not a.
But what if we don't know?
We've been designated driver just.
I gave my keys like I was responsible. This motherfucker out here sipping on the side.
Right, he not responsible. See,
we should get to sue him, right? We get to sue that person, right?
Yeah, probably. You probably
happens to him.
You probably could.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, yo, what you drinking on?
So I got some joint called Copy of a Memory Rainbow Sherbet Sour. And this is what the can looks like right here. So it's like a hand holding sherbet and it's melting through the hand. You see that
cute.
joint?
I like that.
You got it cute? Okay. I mean, whatever. But this is from Two Tides Brewing. Guess what, Lou? You're out of Savannah, Georgia.
I knew it. I think I read that somewhere. Yeah. It said gently roll this can before you pour it into your glass. And I did do that, but it's still kind of thick. Yeah, but this is what it looks like in a glass. I drank most of it actually because it's really good.
Right.
But it actually looks like,
I think the gently roll. Gently roll is to make sure that you get some of the sediment off the bottom and make sure you get it.
Yeah, it was this it's this punch that I don't know. I only had it at black people's house. I never been to no white person's house and they had this punch. But it was
I know what you're about to say.
Where they had the like fruit punch in there and then the sherbet was in the joint. That's what this reminds me of.
What little ginger ale had ginger ale?
Yeah, a little ginger ale in it.
Soda you like.
Yep. That's what this reminds me of.
It also
love that punch.
Yes.
It also you put a little vodka in it when you turn 21, and it turned into a whole different type of punch.
I never went that far, but you got.
But that's the only punch I thought he was talking about.
Yeah, I never had it with the vodka in it. I never had it with the vodka in it. Yeah, it's always been something safe for the kids.
Yeah, you could do gin, you could do rum, you could bourbon, whatever you like. I said 21.
Yeah. I got you.
It's a kid. It's no longer a kid's drink once you put the rum in it.
Well, maybe this tastes like the one with the rum in it because it got liquor in it. So I mean,
there you go.
Maybe it tastes like that one, but I never had it.
It does taste like vodka.
He said rum or vodka. Anyone?
Oh, rum or vodka.
I said all of them. Tequila, whatever you want. Put a whole Long Island iced tea in it. It all
can.
depends on what you like.
That sounds terrible.
It does, but this is good. This is pretty good. I would pass me another one of these drinks. It's like it's 6% too. It's a 6% or 2, so I mean, you can take.
What's the typical percentage of the beers that y'all drink?
Well,
it's a range. I think, like the lowest we had. I think it's less than that. Like we had like a 3 point something.
Yeah, that's water.
Non-alcoholic. No, we have non-alcoholic, but as far as the alcohol ABV, I think like a 3.8 was the lowest that we had. It was like
then the highest was like fucking 20 something, maybe.
What?
It was 26, 29. Yeah.
It gets hard out here in these streets.
Yeah. Wow. And they have higher. We just haven't tasted it, but they have
we just don't try to die. Right.
Well, if you drink alcohol, it's higher than that. So.
Nah, but see, the crazy part is that I think the beer, I get it when they say it, but I feel like when I drink beer with high alcohol volume is different than having like just your regular liquor, your regular spirits with high alcohol volume. I don't know what it is, but the beer seems worse to me when it's high ABV as far as how it hits versus the actual spirit.
Probably because most of the time you're taking like an ounce or 2 ounces of spirit.
Yeah, that's true.
Beer, you like, oh, this tastes good. I'm gonna drink this whole thing.
Yeah,
right, that's true.
That's true because the beer I don't have to mix it with nothing. It's already got all the flavors that it's gonna have. But when I do alcohol,
and then you want to finish. You always want to finish your beer.
I don't know.
If it's a high ABV, I wanna.
You want to knock it off?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it. I drank a rum bourbon.
What about knock it down instead of knock it off? Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
whatever your preference is, man. Whatever your preference is.
Knock it down, knock it off. Whatever.
Yeah, Rob, what you drinking?
I'm drinking.
I forgot. I didn't know where we was at.
From Bluejacket, it is it's actually an IPA. It's has Amarillo, Centennial, and Citra hops. It's a 7% ABV. It's a kind of pretty much a juicy IPA. It's citrusy. It smells delicious, as Lou would say. There's the color. And it's definitely tasty. If you like IPAs, it's definitely a good one to have because you do taste some. It's not overly bitter though. There's some sweetness to it, but it's definitely not a hop bomb where it's like, oh my goodness, I can't drink this. It's too bitter. This definitely has some sweetness to it. So I enjoy it. So shout out to Bluejacket. I'm going to pass me another.
Yo, that can look like it'll give you a headache though. Let me see. Put that can back up. It look confusing.
It's the Illusion Museum. Yeah, it's an illusionist museum.
Yeah.
Yo, I have a question about your beer that you could answer too, Rob. Yoda, it's your beer. You said you had to roll it, and y'all said it would keep the sediment more consistent throughout the beer. But if you only pour like a taste, like in our taster glass, wouldn't the sediment still settle at the bottom?
Well, by the time you get to it, probably.
Yeah, like you can't roll it again because now the can's open. So how does that work? Should you pour it into a pint glass?
We could probably do a little shimmy shaky.
So do a shimmy shake rather than pour it in the whole pint. Because even if you pour it in the whole pint glass, it's still gonna settle at the bottom of that pint glass, obviously, right?
But they say that a lot about most fruited sours because some of the because it's some natural fruits, they all tend to go to the bottom. So they want to make sure you get that the taste throughout. You don't want to just wait till the bottom where like you go to a coffee store and they got all the syrup is at the bottom and then you got to take a straw to drink it. So they want to make sure you get all that taste throughout your enjoyment.
But I get what you're saying, but if it take me 30 minutes to drink this beer because I'm savoring it and enjoying it.
No, don't drink that long. Don't take it. Drink cold.
I'm gonna start opening this bitch from the bottom.
Just chug it.
I'm gonna cut the bottom out and just
shotgun them joints.
Shotgun it and pour it as you can.
Yeah.
Make sure you film that shotgun. Make sure you film that shotgun of a fruited sour.
That's sediment coming out the bottom. That's great.
I'm gonna do it outside in the summer.
All right, so we have some good drinks. We are drinking on something nice. So we are excited to hear about what Facts is all about and who Fantasia is. So
Fantasia.
Rob, I was.
Don't call her Fantasia.
It's all right. It's Fantasia.
Did I say Fantasia? I'm gonna be drinking too much. Did I say Fantasia?
You
Yeah.
did.
You definitely did.
My
Yeah.
bad.
I did wish we had Fantasia on here other than Fantasia, but this works.
You know what?
Nah.
Put me back in the waiting room.
He needs to start over.
My bad. I must have drank already too much.
I mean, do you want me to cut a tune? I could do that too. If
Oh,
You can sing. Can you sing?
No.
Oh, I was great. Say
Oh,
y'all
do not.
don't. No
Don't-
way.
don't
No
cut a
way.
tune then. Don't cut a tune.
Don't you do that.
I was about to say. Well, we're excited to know more about Fontashia and facts. So without further ado, we want to give the floor is yours.
The floor is
Welcome.
yours.
Welcome.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh no, it's a zoom in and everything.
You didn't want to be on the spot.
No, I thought it was still going to be like a four-way thing. It's cool. So, Facts Wellness and Retreat Center is actually a spinoff from Facts, which is a nonprofit organization that I started back in 2017, I think it was. And so the nonprofit is, the acronym FACTS means Financial Awareness, Counseling, and Teaching Services. And so the initial goal with that nonprofit was to spread financial literacy and mental wellness and workplace readiness skills to any and everybody, especially in our underserved or marginalized communities, to where they don't have as much access. And so we've been doing that for some years now, offering classes and one-on-ones and things of that nature, and been receiving grants and funding to kind of support it. And so recently we want to go mobile and have a mobile classroom where we're going around and offering these things. So one way to kind of, I guess, heighten it was the idea was born, let's start a wellness center so that we can have a place to where people can actually come, and then a portion of the proceeds will also go into the nonprofit to help with the mobility of what we're doing. So meeting people where they are and bringing the services to them so that they don't, and just in case, as far as transportation issues or whatever, we can kind of meet people where they are in this area and beyond too, because we offer virtual services as well. So then was born the retreat center. And so it's a wellness and retreat center. We have massages, yoga classes, foot soaks, coaching. We, of course, retreats, whether or not day or destination, couples retreats, women's only retreats. We cater a lot to our BIPOC community because oftentimes in our community, our health and wellness kind of falls to the wayside. And so we want to put that at the forefront, that we're important. Our mental health is important. Our bodies are important. And so that's where we're at right now. But it's out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And our grand opening is 2/24/24. And during that time, on that same day of the grand opening, we're hosting an event called Dinner in Love. And that's an event where people come together and eat and drink and be merry, but also focus on community, connection, gratitude, and just really loving on each other. Just like Bob Marley said, one love. So everybody coming together to just continue to love on each other.
Way to throw that Bob Marley reference out there. The movie's coming out.
Yeah, the movie, what is it? February 14th, right?
Yeah, Valentine's Day, right? Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
I don't go to the movies. Come on, don't ask me that.
Yeah, one love. Come on, Valentine's Day.
One love.
So this place, the actual brick and mortar opens up on the 24th of February.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That's
thank
dope.
you.
Congrats. Get some horns going on or claps or something. That's dope. Well, what's financial literacy?
Pretty much being aware of your finances. So setting a budget, knowing ways to save, how to read your credit report, how to stay out of debt, thinking of how to invest for your future, 401ks, things like that. So pretty much preparing people for everyday life. And sometimes things, I know when I originally started the nonprofit, I said, I grew up in New York and we didn't talk about finances in my household. And it was like, don't ask me about what's going on, no questions, all of that. And so in growing up, I never really knew. Once I got into the real world, right after high school, I'm like, so what do I do now? And so because that wasn't taught, it was always like a hush hush thing. I said, we have to be able to spread this to our communities in a way to where we're reaching the parents and the children and the children's children, just like connecting all of the dots to make sure that we are intentional about our health and well-being. And so, so we teach all of those things. And a lot of times we offer one-on-one coaching for people so we can do it specific to whatever their need is, wherever they are in that moment.
Okay.
So I have a question for you, Fontashia. It's February 25th, 2024. Y'all had a great dinner. Y'all real excited about the grand opening. Here I come. I'm a divorced man. My credit score is 460. I got 3 kids, and I'm paying child support. And I want to get a house, and I don't have any financial literacy. I'm 38 years old. What would you uh, what would you say to me? How would you guide me in, and what would the plan be to direct me in the right
Just
path?
give up.
I know, right?
Run. No.
I try to give a scenario where I should just become a hermit. But this man has 3 kids in Fayetteville, and he wants to do his best to take care of them and do right. His ex-wife is not the best.
Yo, shout out to him for wanting to do better. It don't matter what stage he at.
Right.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. But ultimately, the first step is saying, you know what, I need help, and I don't really know what direction I should go in from here. So somebody coming in, we would the first thing is connection. So it's really connection building, and so just getting to know you and or whoever it is, and a little bit more about what the circumstances, where you're coming from, what your goals are. And so it's an intake. So we take down a lot of information to kind of gather enough so we can support your specific circumstance. So it would start with, okay, this is how much I make. This is how much I pay out. Of course, you said 3 kids. I don't know if they live with you. Maybe it's some child support involved. I don't have a savings. I don't have a bank account, like pointing you in the right direction so that you have resources to be able to support whatever it is that your goals are. So we set goals originally. We make a connection, we set goals, and then we go from there to work on those goals. But our intention is to educate you so that you can continue doing and building your legacy in a way that is conducive for you. So not like debt
relief or something.
Yeah, right. And so they say, oh, pay me money and I'll do it all for you. No, you don't have to, in the sense of the nonprofit, you don't have to pay anything to get resources and to get the know-how and the knowledge to be better. So we provide that for you. Here's some resources in your area. This is what you can do. We can set a budget for you. What are your goals? Let's start a plan to get there. Maybe it's 3 months, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year, but you're putting in the work to get to whatever your goal may be. So your goal may be, I want to repair my credit. So what do I do? So now we're looking at the credit report to see what your standing is so that we can work on fixing that. Maybe it's to save money, or maybe it's all of the things. And so we'll make a plan for you specific to what your goal is so that you can attain it.
Cool. Okay. Right. So I'm sorry, Rob. Go ahead. You got it.
Well, I'm curious, just taking it back in terms of when you started Facts. Like, did you see the connectivity, I guess, of all these items like mental health, mental wellness, financial literacy? Did you see there was a connectivity that say, hey, you just can't tackle this one thing. You got to make sure we look at all these pieces.
Absolutely. That's why we blended it all together, because a lot of times, especially in households, what do they say? The number, like top 5 things of failed marriages, or, people splitting, or whatever the case may be. It's finances, it's sex, it's mental stability, and all of those things. Right. And so when pairing them all together, most of the time, there's a lot of times when people are mentally stressed because of their finances, or their mental health isn't right and they're not playing a part in their financial fitness, right? And then you also have that piece where we go into like your career readiness skills. Some people, even till today, don't know like the process and steps in employment. Maybe they have had jobs, right, but not necessarily a career, and setting goals for that. So yeah, all of these things work together, and especially with the center, we incorporate the different forms of intimacy. So sexual, financial, mental, spiritual, all of those are connected together, and we need all of those to be able to thrive.
I never heard nobody call it financial intimacy before. What's that?
No. So no. I said financial literacy, intimacy.
Oh, literacy. I thought you said financial intimacy. I was like, oh.
You want to know more about that one?
Yeah, love that buddy, bro. You gonna love
it. I'm swimming through his money. Yes, I mean,
yeah. More about that.
Yeah, we definitely try to touch every piece of how we show up as people and what is necessary for us, right? And so, yeah, there definitely was, to answer your question, there definitely was a connection between all of the pieces, because we need all of that in order to, succeed.
So let's go even further. So prior to this, what were you doing prior to this, or this has always been goal to get to? Like,
yeah, well, when I started the nonprofit, I was in education at the time. So I was a teacher. And I was teaching entrepreneurship, financial literacy, computer science, like a couple of different classes. And I'm just watching the kids come in and I'm like, this isn't like, it shouldn't just be here. Like, we have to do this as a family. We have to do this as a community. And so they come into the classroom, they learn it, depending on how much they take away from it, but it's not something that's consistent that they're doing all the time. So while I was in education, I felt like it was necessary to support our communities and like really setting the stage and tone for what it is that we need to know and how we can continue to grow and create generational wealth. So I was in education when I started the nonprofit, and prior to working in education, I worked in the financial industry. So I worked for companies like HSBC, Wachovia, Wells Fargo, Navy Federal. And so I learned a lot in those moments. And that's when the light bulb went off, like Fontashia, you need to teach this stuff. You need to do something more and show up in that way to support other people, because my passion and purpose is serving. And so this is the way that I do it.
That's dope. That's good.
Yeah, I try to be good most days.
So we could go a lot of places, but we're not gonna go there. What? Nothing. Ignore her. Rob, what was your question that you
we shouldn't stop there? We don't want to put a pin in that?
No.
Or return to that one. No,
we won't.
I'm curious to know, like, in terms of when people come for the nonprofit, like, what are some of the things that you see most of, some of the pitfalls that we all we fall in as a marginalized community the most? Like, what are those pitfalls that we normally see, and how can we avoid those?
Yeah, most of the time it has a lot to do with the budget and savings. So a lot of times people don't have a pocket. They don't have an emergency fund. They don't have different funds for different things. Maybe, you're like, oh, I like to vacation, but then I just pull from my credit card to pay for vacation, and now I'm paying that back, or whatever the case may be. So they don't have the savings aspect is usually a big one. How do I only make this amount of money? This is my bills. How do I go about actually saving? Because I feel like I can't, because I'm living paycheck to paycheck, but you can. So it just kind of depends on what we can do to cut out. Sometimes we overspend. Sometimes we do trackers, and I have people track on a monthly basis. What have you spent your money on? Starbucks, sneakers,
DoorDash.
We get DoorDash, right? So all of these habits that we're creating, and we don't actually need them. So it's a difference between a want and a need. What are the things that you need to attain the goal that you have for yourself, right? So not necessarily, and not that we can't enjoy those pleasures, the things that we want, but at the same time, if we have an end goal, we want to buy a house, we want to get a car, we want to, whatever that may be, we may have to cut back on some of those wants in the moment to kind of build towards that. So savings is one of the things. And then budgeting. Some people have a hard time with finding ways that work for them on how to budget. So some people are good with Excel spreadsheets. Some people aren't. Some people are good with the apps like Mint and things like that. Some people aren't good with technology. Some people still do the envelope process where they put money in the envelope based on, whatever the bill is or the date, and they kind of use based on that spending. So there's a lot of different methods that you can incorporate but you find something that's suitable for you. Just like at the beginning of the year, you may say, I'm gonna work out, and I'm gonna work out every day, and I'm gonna lose 100 pounds in 60 days, right? That's too big of a thing. That's too much, because then once you drop the ball, you're not gonna pick it back up. So our goal is to help you pick up the ball, keep the ball, and keep consistent with that.
Yeah. And so are these people staying in contact with you guys, like through their process, or is it just y'all give them, say, hey, you need to do this, do that, and then just get out of here?
No, we keep contact. So
sorry, no, good luck, Bob.
Here you go. Here's the information. Now go ahead. Don't come back. No, we want them to come back, and we want to be supportive along the whole process and way. And then sometimes people say, okay, I've got to where I needed to be. Thank you so much for just kind of keeping me on track. And I got the education. I'm going to keep going in the right direction. So yeah, some people stay for a period of time based on their goals. And some people may just need like a one quick thing. Like I'm already doing all of the things, but I'm really trying to save for a family vacation. And I'm just trying to figure out where would that come from? Like, can you look at the pockets and see if there's something that I can do differently so that I can do that one thing? Or I'm trying to buy a house in the next 6 months. So we may only deal with them for that 6-month process because their goal was to purchase a home. So it really just depends. But most times, yeah, we continue the communication to check in with people and hold them accountable, and we're their accountability partner along the way.
Okay.
I was just wondering. You said you were in. I don't know if it was middle school or high school that you were teaching the financial literacy to the children. But do you feel that there's still a need, and is the nonprofit trying to go back into high schools to try to give it to a younger base?
Right. So it's different depending on where you are. So I've taught in Virginia and I've taught in North Carolina. In Virginia, they mandated that high school students take financial literacy and needed that in order to graduate. So yeah,
wow, that's awesome.
yeah, you have to take a financial literacy course, pass the certification in order to graduate. In North Carolina, they just did the same maybe a couple of years ago, but I think it's a little different on how they mandated it. But yeah, it starts from elementary. Right now, I have a grant with the city of Fayetteville, and I work with the elementary school kids K-5 and talking about money and learning about finances and savings. And these are things that they actually take back to their parents too. So yeah, it starts from real young if we can, and then we kind of go up from there.
Nice.
Now, I'm curious to know, because there's two thoughts of from some well-known financial planners and financial advice people. Like some people say, if you have debt, you shouldn't have it as savings. But then there's other person that says you should pay yourself first, always, at least 10% of your paychecks. Like where do you prescribe it in that, or is it like a balance of kind of both?
I think it's a balance of where you are. And I always say pay yourself first. So that way you already have that chunk of savings. You're not counting it. You are your bill. So I am a bill for myself, and that savings is that bill. So I'm going to always put it in there. And that usually is supportive when people do it as a direct deposit. So if you have a job that has a direct deposit, you don't even see it missing, right? So you schedule that off the top, and you don't have to worry about that particular pot. And I usually say, don't access that pot. Whatever that pot is, don't have a card attached to it. Let it just sit there and grow from your direct deposit into that account. But then on the other hand, if you're already in a space to where, I have a lot of debt and I'm saving at the same time, it's kind of counterintuitive because you have debt probably that has interest. And so you saving isn't making you too much, depending on what kind of account you have your savings in, whether or not it's a money market or a CD or whatever. But it would probably be more supportive in that case, to pay off whatever debt that you have, especially the high interest ones. But I always say to pay yourself first.
All right. Huh.
So maybe you should pay yourself first, depending on how much you're getting paid. Then you're gonna have to pull from that to pay that debt that you got. And just build up some more. Pay it
again. But we're setting you up so that you don't. That's not your line of thinking. Your line of thinking isn't that, oh, now I got to pull from here. No, because you should live according to your means. That's one of the reasons why I chose to live in the area that I currently live in, coming from where I was in North Carolina, because the cost of living was super high. I wanted to buy a house. Could I have managed the house and the bills and things? Yes, absolutely. But I would have been living paycheck to paycheck. If I want to be in a position where I can travel, I can do what I want and all that, I want to be in a space to where I make 3 times more than what my bills are. So when people say, well, how do you keep doing all of these things? Because I live above, like what I put out, I have more of that coming in. And so that's intentional. And we're all not in a position to do that either, right? Depending on where you are, the cost of living, the type of job that you have. I mean, all of those things. But then you might consider a career change if it's something that, is not really helpful for whatever your situation.
Yeah, it's funny because every time I think back to when I was buying the house and I think back to the amount that I got approved for, as soon as I saw the amount I got approved for, I laughed because I'm like, I will never purchase a home that costs that much money.
But do you know how many people actually do that? Like, oh my gosh, I got this much.
Yeah, no, not me. I'm too damn cheap for that. So it's not gonna happen.
But that's a part of the literacy. Like, I got approved for $700,000 for a house. But what does that turn out to be in my mortgage? Like, what's my monthly payment?
Right.
Where you know what I mean? Like they say, oh, I thought I could get 300. Now I can get 700. I'm gonna go get the 700, and then the mortgage is. I've already signed the paper before I know what my mortgage is. It's like I don't care how much the house costs. I could care less how much any house that I ever buy costs. What is my monthly mortgage payment?
Right.
Was it like house poor or something like that, right? Or like the house poor or something like that?
Yeah,
that's how you get that.
I can't live that life.
You can afford $300,000 house, but you bought a 700 because that's what the bank approves you for. But it's kind of like a setup. Like the bank, no.
Right.
You know that you can afford 300. They approve you for 700, and now you struggling, and that's what we want. That's but that's where the bank wants you. They want you to be nickel and dime yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where that education piece comes. Most of the time, I mean,
Right.
I don't know. Some realtors actually will sit down and say, hey, I know that I see this pre-approval or whatever that you got approved for, but let's look at this, because this is where, and not all realtors educate their clients on their financial stuff. But in the case that they do, they're looking out for your best interest so that you're not about to splurge and live above something, because the bank is approving you based on your debt to income ratio on what they see on your credit and what income you gave them. So they don't know, oh, and I pay my cell phone bill, my Spotify, my Apple. Like, they're not looking at all of that. They're looking at what they can see on paper, and then they translate it into that.
I always go, if I can't afford to pay it with the job, like if I lose my job that I got, the good job that I got, I need to still be able to pay this bill with some mediocre job.
Right.
Like, don't I just, man, I just be too scared. That shit's scary to me. I can't.
That's the right way to look at it, though. That is the right way to look at it. And the other component that we look at is like our mental health, especially in our Black men. That's important. And so making sure that we're mentally fit and able to do all of the things. There's a lot of pressure on y'all to be great and do all of the things that you do and how you show up as Black men. And so even for us as women, you know, it's the same, it's a thing. So we need to make sure that we're mentally fit to be able to handle not only our finances, but our family, our work-life balance, and all the other things. So that's an important thing too. So we focus on our mental fitness and building a capacity to kind of reduce anxiety, reduce stress, overwhelm, especially since COVID. It's been a lot of that, not only in our education, but in our families and our communities too. So
women cause mental health issues in men.
Hey,
I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
And you know what? Sometimes, we are emotional beings. And so we have a certain way of showing up and relaying that information on how we show up. And we all have to hold ourselves accountable at how we show up in relationships. That's important.
I'm going to say men and women need to hold themselves.
It's important. Yeah, both ways.
There's a lot of slippery emotional men out here.
Yeah.
Slippery emotion.
What make them slippery though?
He said slippery when wet.
I just try to make it worse. I just try to make it sound worse. Slippery and emotional sound like a really fucked up nigga, don't it?
Yeah, it do. Yeah. But if you got them issues, man, you can just go to Fontashia and be like, look, I'm slippery and emotional. So, what can I do? Help me here.
And in that, you provide mental health counseling. If a person is financially stable, you'll provide mental health as well, or do they have to have a financial need as well?
No, yeah. So it's broken up into categories. They can come to me for financial literacy. They can come to me for mental fitness. They can come for the services that'll be at the center, or if they're trying to find a job. Like, so it's different parts. But we blend it all together. So when we're talking about your finances, we're also talking about your mental fitness as well, because that shows up in our finances.
Yeah, finances is stressful. Shit.
It is stressful.
That could definitely fool with your mental.
Yes, it can.
That's
And it's different for everybody, right? You could be in a relationship and your partner deals with finances in one way and you in another way. And so it's communicating on what works for the both of you in that, in that circumstance too.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I didn't hear it this time until I got older. Like, is there a difference between mental health and mindfulness? Like, what exactly is mindfulness? Until my kids got into like grade school, I didn't really hear about mindfulness. I was like, what is mindfulness? But I know they teach that in school now. So what is?
Yeah, do they teach that in Delaware?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. No, so mindfulness is a form of meditation, but mindfulness is more secular, where you pay attention to what's happening now, like in the moment. And so without judgment, bringing awareness to whatever your noticings are, and not judging yourself for having feelings, for having emotions, leaning into those things, and really tending to yourself with care when you feel overwhelmed or anxious or stressed out. And even in those happy moments too, right? Because we can kind of get our blood up and circulating even when we're like overly excited and things like that. So mindfulness is a way to really notice what's happening and bring awareness to it, and really be present in the moment with whatever is arising without any judgment. Because a lot of times we beat ourselves up with, oh, I'm feeling this way, or, you know, this is happening in my body. And so we start judging ourselves and beating ourselves up, and we create a pattern that is a little worse than what position we're in. So really feeling into that. There's so many different aspects of mindfulness too. So in mindfulness focuses on your senses. So mindfulness of sound, you know, visual, touch, the physical sensations in your body, and just your overall mental fitness too. So they're one and the same, but a lot of times people categorize mental fitness as just like if we were exercising, your physical fitness on building agility and getting yourself in a certain position, mental fitness kind of building that too with your mental stuff. So, but mindfulness is a way, a form of meditation, but with different aspects of how we show up in our human body with all of our senses.
Oh, all right.
And it helps. I mean, it helps all of us. But I'm excited that they're offered in schools, because a lot of times, depending on the politics of it, people are like, oh, mindfulness, is that similar to meditation? Is it religious based and all of this? And it's not. You practice mindfulness without even knowing that that's exactly what you're doing. If you're standing at the kitchen sink and you're washing dishes and you're feeling the bubbles on your hands, or you're noticing the sounds of the water running, or the how your feet is touching the ground, you're bringing awareness to those physical sensations. That's mindfulness. That's being aware of what's happening in the present moment and only focusing on that thing.
Maybe that's why they rebranded it from meditation to mindfulness. It doesn't sound like it has a religious connotation. Mindfulness, hey, everybody has a mind.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you might be right. I never even looked at it like that. That probably is why.
In meditation, oftentimes people, you know, they center it around, okay, I'm going to go to this quiet place. I'm going to cross my legs. I'm going to, you know, put my fingers together and zone everything out. Right. Or even if people are religious and they meditate on the Bible. So they read the word, They meditate on they're discerning from whatever they're getting. So that's that. But that's not mindfulness. So mindfulness deals mostly with the body in the present moment.
Yeah. All right. I am present.
Thanks for that clarification.
Yeah, just like y'all can be mindful when y'all drink your beer, right? So you can look at the colors of the beer, kind of acknowledge what colors are popping out, any shades. Then I know y'all smell it, right? Noticing what type of scents are coming up. What does it smell like? And your focus in that moment is on the beer. It's in the present moment of what's happening with what you have. Then you're tasting it and figuring out what the different hints are that's coming up. That's mindfulness. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, way to tie that all together.
Robert practices mindfulness more than me and Lou does, because me and Lou be like, crack open, drink. Rob be like, Rob want to throw his fingers up and shit and be like, it's
I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. I'm definitely not at Rob's level of mindfulness.
Nah.
Fear, but I do definitely value what you said about living in the moment and being present for whatever's going on right now. Like even in this podcast, like this is what the four of us are doing. This is the moment that we should be present in and be focused on the most.
Exactly, because a lot of times we'll get off centered. We'll start thinking about the shopping list or what we're doing after this, or the Super Bowl for right. So like we can be thinking about a whole bunch of things, or even when it's spending time with your kids. I know for me, and this is just it's real. Like they want me to play with them or whatever, and I'm playing, and then I'm thinking about the next thing, or I'm watching TV, or so. But in order for me to be present in the moment, I got to turn the TV off. I got to cancel out whatever plans I was thinking about and really be in the moment with them, and they experience you differently when you show up all in with no distractions or anything like that with them. And the same for your spouse, right? So being attentive in both ways, partner, right? Being attentive in that moment to what, you know, their needs and desires are in that moment, and just being mindful and being in the present moment with them is important too, because we get disconnected sometimes with social media, with the next thing, with our thoughts, and our thoughts are always going to be there because we're human. So they're not going to go away. People always have this thing that would be like, oh, well, I can't get my thoughts to stop. And they won't, because we're human. They're supposed to be there. But we can acknowledge that we're thinking about whatever it is that we're thinking about, let it go in a moment, and come back to whatever it is that we're focusing on right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts.
I like that. That was dope.
Facts out there.
But it's practice. You got to build that up. It's not easy, especially for somebody where their attention is like always all over the place or something. It's a practice. You continuously do it. But as much as you notice it and name it, you'll build on that practice. So that's where the fitness comes in. We're building the agility like we would do with our physical fitness. So we're acknowledging certain things as we're building our mindfulness practice, and it's supportive.
So I'm curious, do you have 5 facts to give people as they come in? Like, do you have like a checklist, I guess, or facts?
A checklist.
Just in general, like, and just in wellness, like, hey, mindfulness, do these things and stuff like that, or there's like things, or there's like not generic, but there's like things people can take away with them. They can, 5 facts.
Like facts.
5 facts.
Yeah,
like 5 facts.
You don't have to have 5. You don't have to have 5. I think he messed you up when he said 5.
Yeah, he gave you a number. He gave you a number.
You got 2.
Right. I didn't want to go like, you got like 50 facts.
Yo,
but nobody cares about 5 anyway.
It's crazy. You made her do the think deal.
Yeah, because I was like,
No, trying to look for him. Where they at? I gotta find him. Wait, good question.
Rob got me looking around for facts.
Name of the program is facts. I was like,
I got it. That makes perfect sense.
Right.
And Fontashia, if you don't have any facts, you need to have them now. And
clearly, and I need 5 of them.
At least
5 of them.
Yeah.
So one of the baselines that we go off of is mind, body, love, and connection, because all of those really create the human experience. And so they aren't facts necessarily, but our mind is important, our body is important, love is important, connection is important. And so those are 4 things that we actually kind of baseline. This is what it is, and this is what we hope for you to experience by connecting with us, whether or not at the center or for the nonprofit.
That can be 4 facts. It's a fact that your mind is important. It's a fact that love is important.
Yeah.
So that can be 4 facts.
Okay. And facts is an acronym. It's not necessarily facts. It's not
right.
You know what I mean? Like, you are telling the truth in your business and your nonprofit for sure. But facts isn't really the definition of the name of your business, though.
But it works out because of what it stands for.
There you go. Yeah.
Right. So as a marketer, it don't have to be another marketer in my head. I think
that's why we about to get 10%. That's why we got 10% of this.
Exactly.
Down the line.
Yo, we keep getting 10%. We're gonna be rich niggas, boy. I tell you.
Like, I'm not even letting people leave out without being contractually obligated. Say it. Say yes.
Say yes to that 10%. Just say yes. She shook her head, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We got it on record.
Oh, okay. So me shaking my head. I was acknowledging that possibly 10% could go to the nonprofit in whatever you do. So the next time that you have some type of fundraising or sponsorship, then you can do that. Oh no, that's not. Oh,
that's how she just tried to swing that.
I see how you flipped it, but that's definitely not what we were talking about. That nature later. After we sign our contract for the 10%, we'll definitely get you 21%. So we can get out. We'll recoup the money for you. Sure.
Okay. It has to be a balance. I get it.
Yeah, our ideas need to start getting paid for. We need to start getting paid for these ideas.
Well, yeah, because we definitely should see on the IG. Facts of the day, you know what I mean? Anything.
Rob, stop. Because now she has 15%.
No, because we do that already. So thank you very much.
15%. No, we don't. Not like that, Rob. Not like that, Rob. 15%.
I like the
now we have 15%. Thank you, Rob. One more. We own the business. Let's start nonprofit. One more. Start nonprofit.
We're going franchise her. We're going franchise her out. That's how it works.
We can have a different.
That's all full circle. 2024 is all full.
Well, right now, because right now it's only based in only in Fayetteville, right? So it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, that's correct. Now that doesn't mean that people we service only live in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So we do virtual services as well. And so we have people in Florida, New York, Missouri. Like, so it's not just, I mean, if you want a virtual consult or mental fitness one-on-one or group, we do have those too. So we have we have BIPOC classes that we host for mindfulness. We have retreats and things that we host as well. And so it's not just, I mean, it's based out of Fayetteville, but we service everybody. And if there, I mean, we plan on opening up additional locations in the future. And so we're going to speak that into existence and manifest everything that we want.
All right. Is it a Delaware Facts is coming?
Yeah.
facts.
When the people come in to use your services, it's nonprofit, so they don't have to pay for any of the services.
So on a nonprofit side, no, they do not. No, they do not.
Okay.
At the center,
side, yeah.
On the on a nonprofit side, no, they do not, because we're typically funded by personal donations and city and state donations. So that's really supportive. But on the for-profit side, when you come in and get a massage, you're going to pay for a massage. If you come in and get a foot soak or you attend a yoga class, then you'll pay for that service. But a portion of the 10% of the proceeds for the center goes right back into the nonprofit.
Nice. Okay. Now with the
10% goes to nonprofit, 10% goes to Bruce and Banner.
And you get 80%. I like it. For the for-profit services that you provide, are there any insurances do you guys take Fayetteville insurance or North Carolina? I don't know how it works down there. You guys take insurance?
So people pay out of pocket, but we do accept HSA and FSA as well, as long as your flexible spending accounts or health spending accounts it qualifies for that. So we do accept that, yes.
Gotcha.
So those for people. I mean, it's the cards that you get from your employer where you put some money on it tax free, and then you use it for certain services. So for the yoga, because it's a fitness class, or for the massage because it's for your body and your health and all that, they typically would pay let you use it for that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's a sounds like a good center to have though. Like it sounds real good.
It's all wrapped in one, so it's like a one-stop shop. Yeah, it's a one-stop shop. You can get your physical fitness on. You can get some coaching, personal, whether or not, and some people may be into, like, we offer different things too. So like chakra healing, maybe Reiki, mental fitness, one-on-one coaching, group classes. Like I said, the hiking, the retreats, the couple stuff.
You be there all day.
Yeah, it's all in one place.
Yeah, you get there at 8 o'clock and leave till 7 o'clock. That's all day.
That's like we've had at least 2 other people on here that maybe y'all should do like a collaboration or a retreat or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, hiking and chakra and all this stuff. Yeah, that is true.
Y'all do sound bar. Y'all do the sound the little.
We don't do sound bar, but I have had some people connect with me that wanted to offer the services at the center. And honestly, I'm open to offering a lot of things. So if somebody has the skill set and the know-how and they want to offer it, I'm all for it. Come on and tell me what your experience is, and we can talk about that, whether or not it's virtual if you're not local here in North Carolina, or something where you are local and you want to offer something at the center.
Okay. I'm curious to know, like, I know you have the opening of the brick and mortar coming up, or the center opening up on the 24th, but is there like another piece of that is like, is there a retreat plan? Like, I know you said on-site and off-site type of retreats, or you also have that plan as well?
Yeah, so for this year, we have a BIPOC annual women's retreat in September, and we're going to Panama. So BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color. So it's focused on our health and well-being. And next year in the spring, we're doing a couples retreat to Puerto Rico. So those are the 2 destination retreats that we have planned. But we do have some day retreats planned, which are usually like 4 to 6 hours on a Saturday, and hiking events on Sundays and things. Yeah,
you did say day and destination, not on-site. Also, you did say. I put that on site.
Yeah. So on site, it's day retreats, but it's not you're sleeping over. Yeah.
Right.
But we'll get there, because phase 2.
When you say,
when
you say day, it's like I get there, like what I said earlier, I get there at 8 and I leave at 7.
All
day.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you'll eat, you'll have workshops, you'll exercise, you'll participate in one-on-one coaching. Yeah. So it's like a day full of things that you can interact with. But our phase 2, the anticipation is to hopefully actually have the first Black-owned retreat center in the state of North Carolina on this East Coast side. So manifesting that as well, to where people can actually come and spend a night and stay for a certain length of days and participate in the different activities that we have on grounds.
Wait, are there centers like that in other places?
There are a lot of retreat centers. Yeah, there are a lot of retreat centers around. Like they have some in New York, they have some in Arizona, they have some in North Carolina too, like in the mountain area. And it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. And some of them are like religious specific, some of them are not, but you can go and take away what you need at that center. Right. So yeah, it's just not an offering that we have in this particular area. So it would be nice.
And they're probably not Black owned either.
They're definitely not Black owned. No. And one of the things that I pride myself on is everything that we do is we incorporate all Black owned businesses. So even with the grand opening, every vendor is a Black owned entrepreneur doing their thing. And everything that we do when we look for people are usually Black owned vendors. So it's important to shout us out because we're doing it big. And a lot of times we don't share with each other. And this is a way to be able to share and grow and at least bring awareness to what we're doing.
Yeah, that's dope. All right. Yeah, we like to highlight a lot of Black owned stuff too. Yeah. I mean, that's what we do. We try our best. Yes.
I know you're the CEO of Facts, but it seems like you're not just doing this alone. So what does your team, your employees, what does that group look like? Is it a vast amount? It seems like it's 100 of y'all.
No, it's not 100 of us. I wish. We have volunteers, and the team is actually small. So we have people that volunteer to help out, and then the team of people is probably like 5 of us. Yeah. So, wow. So, but people are usually helpful in volunteering and helping out with, because they can teach classes, they can offer one-on-one, depending on their background and skill set.
That's what I was going to ask you. What does a volunteer at the Fact Center actually look like?
So after a background check, they would have to, whatever their qualifications are and where they want to apply themselves. So maybe their background is accounting or finance or whatever, and they want to support other people and give back, then that's the realm that they'll go in. Maybe they're a yoga instructor and they want to give back some additional time and hours to communities, and they'll come out and do that. So whatever your passion is, you can volunteer and speak to that. Or if you just want to help organize something or step up, even like with the Dinner in Love. So Dinner in Love, this is the first event that we're doing on 2/24/24, but we anticipate hopefully doing it in all states in different areas and kind of bringing it there. So we would need volunteers or ambassadors to promote and help with that too.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Dinner in Love. Where's this Dinner in Love at? We're not from Fayetteville, but
so it just so happens. So it's in Fayetteville, and it's happening right next door to the center. So it's a Black owned business right next door where she rents out event space, and she also takes care of all of the arrangements and everything. So it's right next door to, where we're residing.
That's nice. You can get free tours too.
Yeah.
No, I know what dinner is, but what constitutes the love piece of this Dinner in Love?
So the concept came to me, I think it was the top of last year. And I was like, how do we bring people together to really love on each other? Like, one of my main things is loving people. It doesn't matter what you do, and I can love you from afar, but just being able to love on people to create a little bit more happiness, right? So Dinner in Love is a means to come together as a community. All are welcome. And over a meal. So you bring what you want, whatever people share. There'll be music, raffles, dancing. There'll be some activities based on your love language, gratitude, and connection. But the Dinner in Love aspect, I was thinking about it, and I was like, you have your daughter-in-law, father-in-law, son-in-law, everybody gets together as a family. How can we do that in love? And so I just thought of Dinner in Love. So having dinner with love at the center.
Okay.
The more she talks, the more New York you can hear.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say in the beginning, she said, "I'm from New York."
When she said New York, yeah,
y'all laughed at her.
Anybody from New York that don't live in New York anymore don't sound like it until they say that they're from New York.
Right, exactly. That is fact. That is fact.
It's uncanny. It's uncanny.
You know how they be going hard on New York women, how aggressive they are. Yep. That's
well.
What part of New York are you from?
Brooklyn. So I'm from Brooklyn, but I lived in the Bronx too. And we are a little aggressive, but people like that. So
no, they don't. Not everybody.
I know a girl just like you. I know a girl that lived in the Bronx and the Bronx Brooklyn connection. I know girls like you.
Aggressive, right? Yeah.
Come on.
Shut up and love me.
No, I'm gonna say they are who they are.
That's how they do.
You're gonna love me anyway.
Yeah, it's a beautiful type of woman. That's the Bronx Brooklyn connection.
Yeah. See, thank you.
That's her
You
way.
know what?
That's her way route.
That was a nice way of saying it. It's crazy, motherfucker.
That's her way route. That's her way route.
Was that really the underlying tone there?
Nah, man. A certain person or two gonna hear this and know exactly what I'm talking about. Brooklyn to Bronx is a good connection.
All right. Do we have any
I mean,
more?
when I go home, they say I don't sound like they say.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
Haters, you changed.
Yeah, you changed.
I tell you, from New York.
Right.
New York.
But when I'm mad, all of it comes out. I start talking fast, and I'm mad, and everything comes out. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. When you say
you know what? It's New York.
Draw out your all too.
New York talk. When I talk, I mean talking fast.
Yeah, all that AL stuff. Yeah,
the coffee, all of that.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions?
Yeah. Shout out to the accents. Shout out to that aggressive hardcore accent, yo. That love me now accent, yo.
Love me now and forever.
Any more questions for Fontashia?
And forever.
Forever.
I can't.
Nah, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on.
Go ahead, Rob. Finish them up.
All right. Well, I want to thank Fontashia, the founder of Facts. I did say Fontashia. I didn't say Fantasia.
You did. You said it right. I appreciate you.
From Facts for coming on.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all for the invite after all of the years that y'all been doing this. And so just really giving it to y'all. Don't make that face. Giving it to you. Giving it up to y'all too for doing all that y'all do. Especially I'm seeing y'all work in the community and having the conversations and bringing real life stuff up. And so thank you for the invite again. And
no doubt. Anytime.
Yeah, strong black men.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Before we go, we always like to know how people can find you on these World Wide Web, these social medias, on the streets. Where's the brick and mortar location at, the address? So how can they find out more about Facts?
Also, in volunteerism, you seem like you said, team of 5, and you got masseuses, massage therapists, whatever they call them. Then you got therapists and all. Yeah, so you need volunteers. So talk about all that real quick.
Yeah. So if you are wanting to volunteer, you can contact us at so for the nonprofit, the website is www.financialacts.org. And then for the retreat center, it's www.fwrnc.com. And the only reason I said that slow is because we just got the website stuff running last week. And so I'm like, it was one thing. It started off as wellnessretreat.love and we switched it.
Okay.
So
okay.
Okay,
was
so
just thinking
that's fine.
You said the literacy earlier, and I was like, oh man, I was wondering. I'm glad you came through.
We literally just got that one on Friday, so I'm like,
you said financial literacy. There's
right.
Look, I heard literacy, and I that. That's she made the joke.
She did it right. She was just because it's a new website.
Yeah, we just got it on Friday.
And she explained real fast. She explained it real fast. She didn't give us a chance to I had my eyes.
Right.
But y'all still added it, even with me giving that. It's cool.
Absolutely,
though.
Absolutely. So, I wanted to make sure. Yeah, me.
And as far as the social media sites, it's at Financial Acts across the board for the nonprofit, and then for the retreat center is at Facts Retreat on social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever else is out there. It's all the same.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and the address in Fayetteville, we're in Fayetteville on the intersection of Rim Road and Cliffdale, and it's 8175 Cliffdale Road, Suite 116 in Fayetteville, North Carolina. 28314 is the address for the retreat center.
There you go.
Awesome.
All right.
Nice.
All right, Yoke, how can they find you?
You can find me on IG at IM302YODA.
Lou?
My name is Lou Belgium, LEW, Belgium. I'm on Instagram. Yo, somebody was like, I was looking for you at LOU. I'm like, you DM me at LEW. You definitely didn't look for me at
No.
LEW Belgium from now on.
It's okay, man.
All right.
That's
and
why
you
I
can find the
spell mine out.
podcast on Instagram. You can find the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at or X at Brews and Banter Podcast. You can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can even say, Alexa, play Brews and Banter Podcast because we are on Amazon Music and all that good stuff. You can go to www.bruising. What, the high note?
Yes. Why does it gotta go high?
At this point, we should be.
That's the radio sound.
It makes my eye. It just makes my eye twitch a little bit. So
yeah, mine too.
Don't worry about me.
Good.
Don't worry about me.
It sounds good.
Have a reaction to
it.
I mean, you feel it in your soul.
Yeah. because the thing is, as long as I had Alexa, I never said, Alexa, play. Like I never asked that. I just use my regular voice.
I know you all the time.
No, she don't.
It's that late night thing.
Yo, it's funny. I forgot it was one in here that came on when I said that.
Exactly.
Would you like Yoda? Yeah, right.
Nah,
I said that's not Yoda. Who the fuck?
You can go to www.bruisingbanter.com as well to check out all our upcoming events. Check out us on February 22nd at Autumn March. We'll be hosting the who are going to be there trivia experience at 7 p.m. What?
Who
be there?
Is it gonna be in October? Is it gonna be?
I didn't do all that. Who all gonna be there?
Yeah.
Jesus. You can definitely check us out there. The event is free. You got prizes, music. So check us out there for sure. Come through on that Thursday. Before I go,
it's at Autumn March Brewery.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Until you said, "Who gonna be there?" Got to listen.
All I heard was just Scooby Doo voice. I just heard the Scooby Doo voice.
Before we go, I want to know, like, Usher, what's your favorite Usher CD? What's your favorite Usher song or CD? Anybody got one?
Ooh. My Way's my favorite CD. The one that came out like we were back in high school age.
Yeah, Fontashia.
I don't know what came up for me when you said it. I'm like, Usher is cool. I guess it'd be you got it, Dad. Which one is that?
That's 8701.
Oh, that.
I mean, I just like Usher. I don't really, really specifics.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has
when he took his shoes off in the video. That became my favorite song. I'm like, I'm never going to not be my.
I still don't know why he took his shoes off, but I get it.
I think it was part of the choreography. I think it was just part of the dance.
Definitely was.
We'll take our shoes off and walk away because we're so upset.
It's like LL pouring chocolate on people's knees for no reason in the video.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. That chocolate on the knee might be something though.
Not in public on a car.
How does
like no, not at all.
But that's like Usher got more hype recently with all of the things he's been doing in Vegas. So I think he's more popping than he was even when he first came out right now.
I don't know. Confession album.
I don't know. Fontashia. That might not be it.
Confessions was probably his height of the heights.
His height of the heights.
I think he's back up to like right below,
right?
Like the My Way status, the like 1990s guy Usher.
Okay, well maybe I'm paying attention more now than I was.
Yeah. There you go. That was a good one right there.
His career definitely was a bell curve, double barrel curve. Like he went up and then he went down, and now he back up. Back up.
Yeah.
For a while, nobody was checking for Usher for a while. All right. Once again, we want to thank the founder of Facts for coming on. This has been episode 237. Until next time.
Have a good week, everyone.
Goodbye, people.
Yo.
Goodbye,
After
people.
the night.
Hey.
Don't leave your girl around me. True player for real. That's my nigga for real.
It's one of my favorite songs, though.
Yo, that's the first.
We just asked you and you said you didn't know.
Yeah, this is one. I said it's one of my favorite songs.
Don't leave your girl around me.